Does history still exist anymore? Are you running guns? Time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Truck Talking History. I was watching some live coverage yesterday in Okeechobee. I know, don't judge me. I just had it on while I was in the kitchen cooking some stuff. Something was mentioned that really, well, I wouldn't say mentioned. I put two and two together. I'll put it that way. I seen what was not being mentioned. You know, they've had the elites now for, what, a little over 20 years? And apparently what happened before the elites, it's not even mentioned anymore. I noticed they were talking about the biggest bass caught in competition in the elites, and it was 11 something. And the first thing that popped in my head was Mark Menendez. You know, back in the late 90s, I think it was, he caught that 13 something, and that broke the big bass record. Well, that wasn't even mentioned. They were talking about in the elites. That's the biggest fish. Everything was the elites, the elites, the elites, the elites. Well, what about what about the history of bass? What about the guys before that? Before the elites? Whatever happened to that? But the only thing mentioned was the century belt. That's about the only thing mentioned. But again, it wasn't attached to anything in the back. You know, it happened back in history. So what's going on here? Has BSS just gotten to the point to where it's just the elites and that's it? I'll tell you what. One of the things that I actually enjoyed watching when they were on the St. Johns River, one of the things I enjoyed about watching that was that they had Rick Clunn in the studio with him commentating. That to me was interesting. And how he broke down St. John's. That I thought was fascinating. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't there the final day. But to watch the tournament and to hear Rick put his 2 cents in on what he learned over the years fishing St. John's, I thought was fascinating. That knowledge right there is something that a lot of today's guys just don't have. And they're talking about all these records and everything else that's going to get be coming up, and how good these guys are getting and everything. Every single person I've seen on TV was staring at a TV screen. So what does that tell you that they were using? Not cool. Not a fan of video games. I mean, congratulations to Polnick for winning. But these guys are just constantly staring down at their screen. But with the history, why is that never mentioned anymore? You rarely ever hear about it. If it wasn't for Rick Clunn being on the panel in the studio, you never would have heard a single word about it. I mean, even Davey Height never mentions anything about it. Rarely does he ever mention, and if he does, it's about him. You know, what he experienced over the years. That's sad. So whenever Davey Height decides to hang his hat and just retire altogether, is there going to be anybody from the old school there that's going to be able to take his place? Doubt it. I really doubt it. Like to have seen old John Cruz do a little bit better. I'm sure he would have too. But his time's coming. He'll get another one. But man, history doesn't even exist anymore. It's all about the elites. The elites are number one. The elites are where it's at. And completely forgetting what got them to that point that they're at now. The sacrifices people made. The wheeling and dealing that had to go down. It's almost like it's forgotten. Because you never hear them mention it. And that's sad. But that's all I got. That's kind of saddening, isn't it? I didn't mean to be so saddening and serious. Like I said, if you don't subscribe, I'm going to start getting serious. I don't know. But that is sad. That's all I got today, guys. That's all I got to rant about. That's my talk of the day with my infinite wisdom, which means bupkis. So until next time, remember, new techniques are trendy, but bass never change. May the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name, and as always, fish on.